back to the basics today, and I'm just gonna film a simple soft glam makeup tutorial. Not too much, not too little, somewhere in between, just a simple soft glam. So I hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned. Alright, you guys, I did my eyebrows off camera. I used the Anastasia brown pencil in dark brown. I carved my eyebrows out with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in, let's check, medium beige, and then I primed my eyelids with the same color, and I blended it all out, and I set it with the Juvia's Place setting powder in white sands. So I'm basically gonna go in with the Holy Grail. We love her, soft glam. Got this when it first came out. It's just a staple for your simple soft glam looks. I'm gonna take the color burnt orange, and I'm just gonna blend it and build up that color in my upper lid area. But just to get into, you know, I like to talk, be open, get ready with me. One of the first topics I wrote in my journal, I have it right under my camera so I can stay on topic, is that how do you combat gaslighting, no matter who it comes from, whether it's family. In my case, I honestly think it's family. I might ruffle little feathers with that one, but it's the truth. Family, just people you don't know in the community, people who you don't know from a can of paint, just basically in general in life. How do you combat gaslighting, and how do you keep yourself whole and pure through situations like that where you're being literally, I don't want to say attacked, but you're literally just being came at all. Everybody's coming at you at all aspects, just basically telling you that your thoughts, your actions, the way you dress, the way you do your hair, everything about you is wrong because we feel like it's wrong. It may be okay to you, but we think it's wrong, so we want you to think that it's wrong too. And I'm just like, man, get out of here with that. But okay, next I'm gonna take this fluffy blender brush that's kind of angled, and again, Anastasia soft glam palette, but a lot of pretty soft browns. I'm gonna take the color Rustic, and I'm gonna blend it in the outer corner right here, kinda into my crease, but also in my upper lid. But yes, if I can explain gaslighting in layman's terms, well, I just did. It's basically when people around you tell you that everything around you is wrong and you need to feel like that you as a person is wrong. It could put a very negative perception and outlook onto your life. And you want to if you want to know the honest truth about my life growing up, I got blamed for everything. Even stuff I wasn't even around for, I got blamed for everything. And I realized that growing up as like an adolescent, young teenager going into a young adult, 24 now, it's like I feel like as if I finally shed that negative perception that people placed on me. But that doesn't mean it didn't like affect me. So I honestly can say that gaslighting can really like mess you up. And if you ever feel like you're in a situation where you're being blamed, you're being slandered, you're being lied on, you're being gossiped upon, take it. I have, again, the saying, my mom always says it, there's a positive to every perceived negative. And like I said, even though honestly I feel like my family blamed me for everything, even things I wasn't even around for, I realized that there's a positive to that. If I never had like an immediate close relationship with the people who chose to blame me and not take accountability for their own actions, that those people didn't necessarily need to be in my life, because again, that's a telltale sign of their character overall. Again, I might ruffle a few feathers with this one, but I mean, it has to be said. So I'm just taking that color just to go off on a tangent, and I'm blending it and just adding a little depth to my brow bone. But yeah, I mean, One of the ways beyond that I combat gaslighting and stuff like that the best way that I can, because sometimes it can get very like incendiary, it can get very like aggressive to the point where it's just like it could really like uproot your entire life. It's just to, again, what I've always said is to live your life. Homemade pumpkin spice latte. Live your life, do what you want to do, be yourself. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I've been through a lot in my life, and the thing about it is, as much as I've been through in my life, I told myself that I owe it to myself to at least be who I want to be comfortable in. Oh, I'm taking the color on this flat brush. It is orange soda mixed with a little bit of tempera, just to like do like a soft cut crease. I'm not gonna carve my lid out with any type of concealer, just a light cut crease. But honestly, I had to realize that what I owe to myself the most is to be myself and to love myself honestly, truly, exactly who I am. And it's a beautiful thing to just like accept that, because I made that decision at a very young age. Again, going through the height of the gaslighting and the manipulation and the lies and stuff like that. It honestly, that's one of my saving graces that honestly saved me from like completely losing who I am as a person. If I can give any advice to anyone, it's to just be yourself. I'm always going to be that person that tells you be yourself. I don't care what the world tells you. I don't care what your family tells you. I don't care what the people around you tell you. You need to be yourself, because again, you only have one life to live. And because of that, you owe it to yourself to be happy and to be yourself. I mean, living your life for other people, there's this term in psychology that's called a moving goalpost. And people who often gaslight, they often set up that moving goalpost. If you live your life for people who are constantly, incessantly obsessed with gaslighting you and telling you that you're a bad person and telling you that you're not gonna be anything and all this like negative things, honestly things that they think about themselves, they think about themselves, they're just projecting it onto you. When you change up who you are and you live to basically try to meet these people's needs, the goalpost is always going to move. They're always going to change what they want of you, what they think they want of you, because they're unhappy with themselves and they don't even really know what they want of you. They just want to make you feel as bad as they feel about themselves. And again, I might ruffle a few feathers with that one, but in terms of psychology, that's what I see to be true. But okay, next, going back to the makeup, we are going to take, where is my eyeliner? Okay, my spray bottle fell. But we are going to take, where is my eyeliner? My eyeliner is missing. Hold on, you guys, I'll be right back. I always, where my eyeliner is, I don't know. Give me 1 second. Okay, got my eyeliner, you guys. I'm back. But yes, they're, again, moving goalposts, living your life to basically fit other people's perception. It's never going to make you happy. Seeking validation from other people, especially people who have made it up in their mind that they do not like you, will never make you happy. You will never feel fulfilled, and you will be stuck in this constant negative cycle of changing who you are, changing what you believe, changing how you dress, changing how you act, changing how you talk. Everything, every aspect of your life will be central on other people who don't actually really care about you. So again, don't fall into that negative cycle. If I can tell you anything, don't fall into that negative cycle. Don't let what people tell you about yourself, even if it's just negative or it's a perception of their own self, don't let that gaslight you and manipulate you covertly into changing who you are. Be yourself. You owe that to yourself. But I'm gonna take my black eyeliner from Il Makiage. It's called Black Card. It's waterproof too. Works really good. And we're just gonna do a simple, slim, not too dark cat eye. We love cat eye around here. Very cute, not too thick, not too thin. A little bit on the thicker side, but it's not too long. We're going for like, it's a soft glam, but like a retro glam. Neutral eye, kind of, how can you put it? Neutral eye that's also a cut crease. Simple liner. We're going to do half lashes. I'm going to teach you guys how half lashes accentuate your eye without putting on a full eyelash. All that type stuff. But again, gaslighting can really like mess up not only your perception of yourself, but it can mess up your perception of the outside world. So again, do what you need to do, cleanse yourself, meditate, disassociate from the people who are making you feel this way. Just do whatever you can to alleviate gaslighting and people who are just trying to change everything about you from your life, because it'll never end well. It will never end well. But yeah, we gotta be quiet to focus and finish our cat eye, because this is serious. We don't want mismatched cat eyes. Are those even? Yes, those are even. I'm just gonna, this eyeliner, I can't lie, it is drying out a little bit, so I'm gonna take my other black liquid eyeliner, if I can find it. Again, my eyeliners are always going missing, and I'm just gonna see if I can clean this up a little bit. If not, I'm gonna use the same eyeliner because I cannot find my other one. Okay, here it is. Ooh, she's in there. Or maybe that was not eyeliner, so I'm just gonna pat this one and like really like shake this one, try to get some of the liner ink down to the top part of it. Okay, perfect. So another topic, I mean, we're just having an open-ended conversation, is how important it is to speak your truth, especially if you're going through intense and very like incessant gaslighting. Like everywhere you go, it's like someone has something to say, but it's just like, you know, it's not true, so you're just like, and then people are just like, you're just like, But again, speaking your truth is honestly one of the most important things you can do in life, because it was a quote on this little, like, I don't know, motivational quote that I came across on Instagram, and I remember saving it to my phone because I felt like it was so pertinent to me. I am using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. It is in the color 430 Rio. That is my color. But again, there is this saying that I saved to my phone from Instagram, and it was just like, I don't remember it exactly, but it was just like, you have to basically speak on the things that you hold in, because if you hold those things in, they get heavy. It begins to weigh on you mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So if I can, again, give anybody any type of advice while I blend out my foundation all around my face to my chin, my ears, everything, just to make sure everything blends, is that you have to speak your truth, or else you can become a very, I don't want to necessarily say negative all the time, but you can get bogged down with a lot of like negative thoughts, patterns, feelings, belief about yourself and the outside world. Same way gaslighting can like get to you like that. It could basically throw you into a spiral, not a good spiral either. When you don't speak your truth, you're basically living life, in my opinion, as like kind of like a bystander. You're not defending yourself. You're kind of just like letting things happen to you. And again, not to say that you shouldn't expect that other people would defend you. You should always think of life as something that you move through with camaraderie, not necessarily you're at this alone. I don't think anybody's ever truly alone, but when you don't speak your truth and you hold it all in and you allow it to just like basically sour your heart, you're letting the negative people around you win. You're kind of letting yourself down in the fact that the action of self-care and action of defending yourself is like one of the truest, it's one of the truest actions of actual self-love, self-care, is to defend yourself against just the negativity, the gaslighting, the bullying, the incessant, I don't like you, I don't like how you do that, and it's just like, but I honestly can say, again, speak your truth, no matter how much it may ruffle anybody else's feathers, no matter how much you think that it's not the right place, the right time. Sometimes, okay, look for the right place and the right time, because there's a right time and a right place for everything. But at the same time, don't get yourself stuck in this pattern of like, okay, I need to plan this out. Well, like, speak your truth and speak it freely, and speak from the heart. Don't speak from emotion. I've been like, again, taking a lot of personal inventories and like a lot of like self-reflection, self-care, and it's just like, people can speak from a place of emotion, and they can also speak from a place of logic. There's two sides to the coin. People who honestly speak from emotion, if it's positive, negative, sometimes, honestly, again, whether it's positive or negative, it may not make sense to the outside world, because other people may not be feeling that emotion, or they might not even understand why you're feeling like that. When you speak with logic, and you speak in a way that's thorough, thoughtful, succinct, it's the truth, it's what you're living, I feel like that's more receptive to the outside world, because we all, again, when we're not thinking our emotions, I would like to say that we're all thinking with some sort of logic, which is easier that's more of a central place for people to understand. So, My hair is in my face. I should have clipped it back, but I don't feel like it. But again, just blend this out. Go back to our makeup just for a quick second. I'm taking my L'Oreal, not L'Oreal, why do I keep saying L'Oreal? I don't know. Maybelline New York Fit Me Concealer. It is in the color tan? Sand? Sand? Tan? Yes. Sand. It's in the color sand. I was like, where is the label? But if you speak from a place of logic that is also speaking your truth, it's honestly more receptive, because again, like I said, it's more thorough, it's more thoughtful, it's distinct, it's not you just like spewing out your emotions at the time. So again, speaking your truth is so important. Like, it's so important, especially if you feel like you're in danger, if you feel like something is just not working for you, like in terms of how the outside world is viewing you, if something is just like really hindering who you are as a person, you need to speak up, speak out for yourself, speak your truth, so that you know that the world hears you, because you're not alone. There's always someone listening. When you think that someone doesn't care about you, heck, I care about you. I care about everybody. I'm just that type of empathetic person. So again, if I can encourage anybody in this world to just do anything, is to speak your truth. And it's like, again, another aspect of that situation is that a lot of people who don't speak their truth, who don't like really talk about the things that they've been through, they will bottle up those emotions. And when you take that first step to, I don't want to say be the bigger person, but be brave enough to speak what you've gone through, it's setting the tone and it's opening the space. Excuse me. It's setting the tone and it's opening the space for other people to feel comfortable enough to speak about what they've been through too. Because even though we all walk along different paths and stuff in our life, it's like, that doesn't mean that someone can't go through like the same situation and like as you. So I'm just gonna blend out my concealer. I did it in my normal pattern. Under the eyes, up the sides, and just blend it out with my beauty blender. Blend out the edges. I always start on my under eyes first. But yes, it is so important to open up that space for other people too, because like I said, you're never alone. And I don't want to say that everybody has to be the bigger person. Open up when you're comfortable, when you feel ready to. But it's important to set that safe space, especially if you're talking about something negative and traumatic. You need to set that space. You need to basically attempt to set that tone when you're ready to speak about what you've gone through, because that's going to open up other people. You can help other people by speaking your truth, setting a positive tone where people feel comfortable and they feel cared for enough to share and let go of that negative, heavy trauma. So again, speaking your truth, it's so important in this lifetime. I'm just gonna blend my chin, blending my forehead out. Everything's nice and blended, and then I'm gonna get my powder brush. I'm gonna take the white sands powder mixed with a little bit of the Kalahari powder, and I'm gonna bake under my eyes just lightly, not too much powder. We don't want to look cakey, because that is a full coverage foundation that I use. I love that foundation for when I'm doing a glam look. There's a little bit more white sands than Kalahari in this like makeup tutorial, because I want to have like a very highlighted under eye. The Kalahari powder is like a yellow tone powder, and the white sands powder is basically like a neutral whiter, it's the color of sand, so it's a little bit more, whatchamacallit, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more highlighting. Wow, I cannot get that word out. But again, bake, do my chin, forehead. Alright, so I'm gonna wipe a little bit of this off just to make sure that it's not too baked, too much. But we're gonna move into blush. Again, going back to what I was talking about, speaking your truth, so important. It's a million and one times important. I've committed myself to not holding in the things that bother me, but not having explosive outbursts, but composing myself, speaking thoroughly, thoughtfully, succinctly about what I'm going through. Again, like I said, to open up the doors for other women who, or not just women in particular, men, women, whoever you are, to just open up that door so that other people feel comfortable to speak about what they've been through too, in hopes that I can, again, help other people. I love to help other people to relieve some of that negative, heavy trauma off of themselves. Homemade pumpkin spice latte, amazing. But I'm gonna go into my blush rose palette. Again, I have like beat this palette up, but I'm gonna take this color right here as my blush on like a dry beauty blender. This is my, you can see it's very pink. This is my blush brush. Oh gosh, let me take a deep breath. But I'm gonna just pat this, and it looks like a lot at first, but we're gonna blend it out with the other side. And I just bring it from my cheekbones all the way up, and then I'm gonna take the other side and we're just gonna blend it out. And then just go in as necessary. But blend all of this color out. Along my cheekbones. If I could talk about another thing, which I feel like is one of the most important things, there's a lot of important things that I'm talking about, but one of the most important things is that you need to love yourself unapologetically. And that's basically like the call to action, the main like gist of what I'm even talking about. Is like, despite what people say, despite what people think, no matter what happens, you owe it to yourself to absolutely 100% love yourself. My self-love, self-care journey has been so fruitful for me, because it's like, I don't want to necessarily say I 100% like hated myself in the past, but it was just like, again, going through the gaslighting, the manipulation, honestly a little bit of torture. I just had this negative outlook on who I was as a person. Again, not necessarily hating myself, but I'm like, dang, if all these other people don't like me, damn, should I even like myself? And I'm like, girl, them people don't even matter. What are you talking about? But so I mean, it's so important to just love yourself. I believe that God all made us different for a reason. Again, I don't like cookie cutters. I love baking, but the cookie cutter, everybody has to look the same, act the same, be the same. That's not the way to live life at all. And it's not, if you want me to be honest with you, that's not fun. Again, shedding the negative I mean, not shedding the negatives, shedding the positive things about yourself to just basically live up in the image of what other people want you to be, or what you think of somebody else that you may think of it as favorable, or just stuff like that. That's never gonna bring you true happiness. It may bring you external validation from other people, but in your heart of hearts, are you happy trying to be someone else? No. That's why you be yourself and you love yourself unapologetically. And that's my main philosophy about life, just in general, just 100%, because we live in a society, from my opinion nowadays, where it's just like we're fed all of this, like, I don't even want to call it self-care or self-help. We're fed, part of it I feel like is consumerism, before I go off on a tangent, but like we're fed that we're constantly like not enough, and to be enough we need to have like all this external validation, we need to have all of these things, we need to have like basically like you gotta basically put yourself in the aspect that you're living the perfect life, even though you're absorbing what society says is the perfect life. If we all work and live on different paths and we're following those paths, that means everybody's perfect life, everybody's purpose in this life is going to be different. So to go to like mainstream society, media, pop culture and say, okay, maybe your favorite celebrity or something like that is living the perfect life. Oh, excuse me, sorry, I have manners. To say that your favorite celebrity or something like that is living the perfect life, they're living what you want to live, that is a totally, even though you may idolize, like, how can I put this? I'm not gonna lie, I have my favorite set of celebrities, I have my favorite set of supermodels, but does that mean I'm gonna shed every aspect of my being to try to be exactly like these people to gain external validation? No. So it's like, sometimes I feel like it's very important for us, okay, let me go off on a tangent again, taking the Juvia's Place Warrior palette, and I'm taking the color Kano, and I'm taking the color Dahomey, and we are contouring, lightly contouring. But again, back to what I was saying, if you basically live your life to your favorite celebrity standards, or if you attempt to build yourself up in this image that is based off of mainstream society, mainstream culture, I'm not gonna say it's never gonna work, but it's like, again, that's a totally different person than you. And just because they're a celebrity with all this like fame, fortune, and does that mean that they're a happy person? Maybe, maybe not. Does that mean that their life path fits your life path too? No, you might go into the same profession as them one day, but does that mean that you go out and you emulate everything that another person is doing, whether that's another person that you just come across, whether that's a family member, whether that's just a random stranger that you think is like more favorable than you? Do you think that, like, would you honestly think that that's gonna last long enough to the point where it's like, okay, I'm gonna get exactly what I want out of this? I don't think, like, no, it's not, no. And if I could say one thing, it's just like, how, again, I was thinking about this. I was thinking about an old friend, and we had this conversation about, we used to have these deep philosophical conversations in the car, me and her, and I'll never forget, we were riding back to our apartment together, and she was just like, sometimes I don't get why people like don't want to be themselves. Like, I get it, but I don't. Like, in the heat of the moment, you may look at another person and see, like, from the outside they're doing better than you, so you kind of want to just like emulate that. But like, in the aspect of who you are as a person, why do people do that? And I'll never forget, like, I kind of like I had the steering wheel. I drive was like one hand like this. I kind of like went like that, and I was like, it really made me think like, girl, you wanted something with that one. Basically, what I answered back to her is just that, again, it's kind of setting yourself up for that same like moving goalpost. I didn't say it in those exact words because I don't think I knew what that term was yet, but it's a moving goalpost that you're setting yourself up for, because people change. That same person that has a certain aesthetic one day or one period of time, they can completely change in another 6 months, and then you're gonna be constantly running after that person, trying to like emulate exactly who they are. So why even do it? And she was like, you're right about that. And I was like, I think I am right about that. But again, I'm going back in with the fluffy pointy part of this brush, and I'm just gonna contour my nose. Contour the sides of my chin, and then get the fluffy part of this powder brush. I'm just gonna wipe away the excess powder. Blend out my nose contour and get the powder like off of my forehead. Then I'm gonna go in with a little rose water spray to just like set everything, because this is a matte foundation and I don't want to look like a freshly baked cake. Like no frosting, no nothing, just freshly baked cake. And then I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit, and we're gonna move on. Again, just taking, while it's wet, taking your beauty blender and just blending stuff out. Make sure that it's nice and even and set. We're gonna move on into the rest of our face. We're actually almost done. So again, a nice simple soft glam. Now that everything is set, my face is basically dry. Rose water dries pretty fast in your face. You are going to, ooh, itchy, but I'm going to put on half lashes, and I actually kind of like made these half lashes myself. Got these lashes off Temu. Temu is amazing. I love Temu. But I cut these lashes and I took the front part and I pasted it to the back part to make it a half lash, like this lash. So we're gonna put these on, and I really like the way half lashes accentuate your eye. I'm a full lash girly. I usually wear full strip lashes. Usually they're pretty thick, they're pretty fluffy, they're always cat eye. We love cat eye. But recently I've been trying to just get into like lighter, softer makeup, even if it's like a full glam like this one, to basically just like let my natural features, like I have naturally long curly eyelashes, just let those set the tone for the makeup. Don't try and cover it up with a whole bunch of stuff. Love yourself. Love exactly how God made your very curly eyelashes. I'm just gonna put on a little mascara. Just a nice even coat on both eyelids, both eyelashes. Alright, we got our mascara on, and I'm going to put some white duo glue on both of my eyelashes in a quick second as soon as I find it. Alright, there we go. But yeah, I mean, don't let gaslighting get to you. Oh, I almost dropped the glue. Don't let gaslighting get to you. Don't let people tell you who you are, especially if the person ain't never met you before. Like, that's, let me not. Again, I don't want to ruffle too many feathers with this video, but don't let someone who has never met you before in your life tell you who you are, because that's something that you just don't need to do. I'm not gonna give it a certain adjective, positive or negative. That's just something you don't do. Don't let someone who's ever met you before in your life tell you who you are. speak your truth, speak it thoroughly, thoughtfully, succinctly. Speak your truth, speak what you've been through, again, to help other people unload that heavy trauma, and to also unload that heavy trauma from yourself, because when you hold it in, I'm not saying it's absolutely liable to drive you crazy, but it could basically put a very negative outlook, a very negative perception that you have, that you will carry around about society, about yourself, about what you're going through. You'll hold on to that negative heaviness. And love yourself unapologetically. I mean, again, going back into the gaslighting and the people just giving their opinion, unwarranted at that, unwarranted, not even asked for. Okay, but unwarranted opinion on who you are as a person, that could, again, put a negative outlook on your life, because if you choose to believe them, or if it happens enough times, again, it can become very like insidious, very like incessant, very invasive in your life. So you don't need to do that. While my lashes are drying, taking the Anastasia Sun Dip palette, and I'm going to use the color Summer. I'm taking this fluffy brush right here that I use for highlight. I'm just gonna highlight the upper I gotta think about the word. Upper cheekbones, brow bone, a little bit on your temples. And then I'm going to take my blush. I'm just going to put a little bit on my nose because I forgot. Just pat a little bit. We love to put a little bit of blush on the nose. And since I think this eyelash glue is dry, I'm going to tuck my hair out of the way, because that's something that I run into like a lot, where your hair is in your face. You might glue one of your hairs underneath your eyelash, and then like, oh, I thought I was going to sneeze. Oh, sorry, but your eyelashes might like get stuck with your hair and your face. But put this lash on, and when you do half lashes, you don't want to put them in the middle. Obviously, you're gonna just focus them on the outer corner of your eye. You gotta be quiet when you put on your eyelashes, because it takes focus. You want to get them very close to that lash line. We are focused. We are focused. And basically what I'm going to do on my inner corners, I'm going to just wipe off the excess, turn my mascara brush like parallel, and I'm just going to add one more coat, not on the false lashes, but just on my natural lashes, to make them line up and match better with that half lash. And then I'm just gonna push this lash down a little bit more. Again, very pretty. I feel like these accentuate my natural lashes more than wearing a full lash, because again, I naturally have like long curly eyelashes, so I want to let those shine through more than just covering them all up with a full lash. Make sure that that band is like down on your lash line. And it's very cute, very fun, very flirty, very pretty. But what can I do next? What have I not done with my face? Okay, under eyes. You always do your under eyes to match up with the top of your eyes. So I'm going to take this flat brush and I'm going to take the color Rustic that I use to darken my upper lid. And I'm going to bring that down the side, the bottom two corners of my lash. And then I'm just gonna define my upper lid just a little bit more on the outer edge with that color. Very pretty. And then I'm gonna take mascara again on my bottom lashes, not too much, but just to make them look like they're there. I love that. That's very pretty. But next thing you're gonna do is you're going to get, again, your Anastasia, the blender brush, that basically the two-sided brush that comes with the palettes. I'm gonna take the color Glistening, which is this color. It's my favorite, as you can see, inner corner highlight. And I'm just gonna pat this right in my inner corner to highlight and brighten up the look. I love how this is coming out so far. Very pretty. But last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get into our lips. I'll be right back. Well, do I have everything? I do have everything I need. Wow, I don't have to go to my purse. First time for everything. Wow. But I'm gonna take this brown liquid lipstick and I'm going to line my lips. rub my lips together to kind of like give the imprint on my top lip, on my bottom lip, so that everything runs together evenly. Very cute. And we're gonna add NYX Butter Gloss and Fortune Cookie. And just blend that with the liner. 2 and 3. Alright, and that's the look, you guys. I already styled my hair for the most part. It's a little fluffy today, but I like that. I love big poofy hair. So this is my completed soft glam look using the Anastasia Soft Glam Kit, one of my favorites. Got it when it first came out. I taught you guys how to apply soft lashes. I talked a little bit about combating gaslighting, lies, gossip, slander. I talked a little bit about speaking your truth and what's important to you. And I spoke honestly, to bring this all together, about loving yourself and loving yourself unconditionally. I feel like that's my main call to action with this video and with this Get Ready With Me. So again, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys like the look and have a good day. Bye. Even though this is editing Maya and I do my little dancey dance.